Okay, welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about how to connect with your spirit guides. And I'm recording this. You guys can watch it back later, but we're going to do some exercises first. I'm going to tell you a little bit about your spirit guides. I'm not going to go into great detail about it. Then we're going to do a little bit of an exercise, and then we're going to do a meditation so that you guys can connect with your spirit guides. Now, when you do the meditation, it's actually pretty easy, mostly easy for people to connect. It may be that one or two people don't connect. And if you don't, just let me know at the end of the meditation and I'll help you understand maybe what happened there. But I would say that the vast majority of people are able to connect in the meditation. But before we do the meditation, I'm going to kind of supercharge this. And we're going to do a little exercise to sort of get our intuition fired up. Now, before we do that, because people are still kind of coming in, I want to explain to you guys, and surely you guys all know this because you're here, everyone has a spirit guide. Now, you may have 2 spirit guides or even 3 spirit guides, but I guarantee you have at least 1 spirit guide. In my experience, now there's some people that will say different things about this, and I would suggest that you just go with wherever your heart is, whatever feels resonant to you, that's what I would go with, okay? In my experience, we come to this planet, we come to this incarnation with a life plan, a soul journey, our soul's purpose, okay? Your spirit guide is your captain of your team for that purpose. So if you're about to make a decision that would take you off of your soul's journey, then your spirit guide will get involved and do all kinds of things. I mean, if a car wreck would take you off your spirit journey, then hey, they're going to stop you from being in that wreck. I've had that happen. I'm sure a lot of people have had that happen where you think, wow, how did I miss that car? How did that car miss me? Or something happened. Other ways that your spirit guides can get involved in your life, they can just send you messages. They appear as thoughts in your head. You get a thought. I'm going to go. You actually get a thought plus energy, because a thought without energy doesn't really usually induce action. So you might get a thought with a little bit of energy one morning or one day, and you may take action on something that you haven't taken action on. Maybe it's been something that's kind of rolling around in your head. Maybe it's something that you thought about doing a while back, a year ago, 5 years ago, 5 months ago, 5 days ago. Doesn't matter. Today, you for some reason, you think, I'm going to do that. And you actually do it. That's guidance. They love when they can give you a thought, give you a little boost of energy, and then have you follow through with whatever it is. What could it be? It could be that you put a resume in at a new position. It could be that you sign up for a class. It could be that you do something fun. Because on your soul path, maybe you're going to meet somebody at that fun event. Maybe the event has nothing to do with your soul path, but you're going to meet somebody who has everything to do with your soul path. So my point here is that your spirit guides they actually have a job, and their job is with your soul path. Now, your main spirit guide is not going to come down here and get involved in your life for no reason. That's not their job. Their job is to help you as best they can to get on your soul's path or to stay on your soul's path. If you want help with anything else, you can ask for another guide. Easy peasy. You can ask for a spirit guide to come in to help you with your diet, with your career, with your parenting, with anything, with your taxes, anything at all. There are people who get angels that are parking angels that help them find parking spaces, right? So these, what I call these, are helper guides, and they work really closely to you. And in my experience, I communicate much more clearly and much easier with my helper guides than I do my main guide. I feel like I should repeat that. I communicate easier, quicker, and faster with my helper guides than I do my main guide. Why is that? Well, my main guide, again, my main guide is up here, captain of the ship. He doesn't want to talk to those people down below. He's got a job. She's got a job to do. They don't take their eye off of the job. This is what they're going to do. Now, I can get these other helpers who are like right here, like right next to me. You might be familiar with this in the sense that I talk about a newsroom, you know, in Edward Morrow, right? My newsroom, they're all helper guides. My helper guides, I can talk to as if they're sitting right next to me. My main guide, I very rarely talk to him. Mine is a guy, unless I meditate and specifically want to talk to him, or I go into like a trance and do it that way. Now, and even then, my main guide is not talkative. He doesn't shoot the breeze with me. He's very serious. Okay. So that's how it works for me. That's in my experience. Again, you can ask for helper guides for anything at all, and they will come into your life and you will notice them. For instance, I ask for helper guides with my diet, and I will be at the grocery store and I will get a thought in my head, buy this, not this. Or I'll get a thought in my head to go get a salad or to get something healthy. I can promise you that wasn't my thought. None of that was not me. That's another way that you know that you're being guided. When you think, wait a minute, this isn't typical for me. And we often say things like, I don't know why I did it. I don't know. I just did something crazy and I signed up for this class. So when you say words like, I don't know, that's a pretty good indication of guidance. For instance, I don't know how I know this. I just know it. How many times have you said that? Okay, that's guidance. That's claircognizance. When you use words like know, that's psychic knowing. If you say, I just see her getting married this summer. Now, what word did you use? See. That's a tip off to you that you're clairvoyant. Whether you're seeing it or not, you use the word see. That's a tip off. I just know, I just see. What's the other one? I just feel. I feel like he's going to get the job. Pay attention to how you talk. These are tip-offs to what guidance and what type of guidance you're getting. Feel is clairsentience. I just feel that I'm going to get this job. That's clairsentience. So you can be aware. You can start being aware of how your guides are already guiding you. They also will give you songs. If you're hearing a song in your head that you haven't heard in a very long time, and you're just kind of singing the lyrics, you know how we do, and then it doesn't, you just keep singing the lyrics all day. That's guidance. You can take a moment, Google that lyric, because I'm not a media person. I never know who wrote it or what. I don't even know the whole song. Google whatever lyric part of it you know, and it'll generally pull up the rest of the lyrics. I copy and paste that into an email to myself, and I always use a subject line that I know I can search. So whenever I'm sending myself emails that says this happened or that happened, or I had this dream, or if you're putting it in you're writing it in your journal, jot down the song and just write down the few lyrics that you were singing. Because what's going to trip you up is you're going to read all the lyrics and you're going to be like, okay, I don't even understand this. It's truly just the lyrics that were stuck in your head. Those are the ones that mean the most. Sometimes you can hear the whole song. You can read the whole song lyrics and you can say, yeah, I can put this together for me. Sometimes you can't. If you can't, you still need to pay attention to those lyrics. They send you guidance through people. A stranger may say something to you that strikes you. We have all these euphemisms. I don't know what you just said struck me. Don't we say that? And sometimes you never forget. I remember things from 5 years ago, and I cannot tell you what I had for breakfast. So when you remember something forever, it's like Spirit put a Post-it note right on your forehead and said, that's important. That's important for you. So whenever you come across these things, they come back up to your consciousness and you think, you know what? That happened 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 20 years ago. Make a note, grab your journal, make a note. Why am I remembering this now? It originally happened all these years ago. Just make a note. You don't have to figure it out right now, but it will make sense with some time. You'll go back and look at that journal and say, wow, this all makes sense. Okay. So these are some ways that they guide you. You can even see ads. I swear, even advertisements. Now, let me clarify that too. I was seeing an ad for becoming a bookkeeper. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and numbers are Chinese words to me, like some other language. Like I don't know what that is. So I was laughing, but it happened. Literally, I was seeing this ad 2 and 3 times a day. I hadn't been looking for a bookkeeper. I hadn't been looking for accounting. I hadn't been looking for any of those products that would likely, have social media putting that in front of me. I finally realized this went on for a week. I finally said, okay, what is it with the ad? What is it? And I finally understood they wanted me to hire a bookkeeper, not become a bookkeeper. So sometimes the message is just not quite direct. Sometimes you have to sort of look at it from the side, kind of figure it out. And that's why writing it down and then coming back to it a little bit later really can be helpful for you, because it gives you some time to have a new perspective on it. And perhaps they've sent you other guidance in that meantime. And now it makes more sense than it did at that time. Okay. So these are some ways that they can guide you. There's so many other ways. I could probably, when I did my class on spirit guides, I talked for 2 hours straight and I thought, what the heck just happened? I had no idea all that was in here. So I could go on, but we're going to leave it at that. Now we're going to do a little exercise. We've given people time to be here. And what I want you to do, you guys, this is a really simple thing to do, but I promise you, it works. It may not seem like it's anything, but it works. So what we're going to do is, if you have a piece of paper or your phone or anything, and I can give you guys time to get something, it would be a good idea to have something if you want to participate. So what we're going to do is we're going to supercharge our intuition. And how we're going to do that is by allowing our subconscious to come out and play. We're going to push our thinking brain to the side. Now, everybody asks, how can I talk to my spirit guides so easily? Well, first of all, it is not that easy when you're working on your own self, because any kind of fears, whether they're hidden or things that you know about, or any kind of emotion can override and sort of shout over your spirit guides. So we want to learn how to push that ego thinking brain to the side. Okay, so what we're going to do for this exercise is very simple. I want you to write down or think about the very, very first thing that comes to your mind. Again, we're training our mind to accept what the subconscious says and not to think about it. We don't want to think about this. We want to write down the very first thing that comes to our mind. And if anybody wants to put their answers in chat, that's fine. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see either you'll see reactions or you'll see chat. If you see chat, you can click on it, and on the side of your screen, you'll see a way to actually chat with everybody. Okay. So the very first thing I want you guys to do is write down the first number that comes to your head. Okay. I'm going to go fast here because I want you guys to get in the habit of this. Okay. Write down the first animal. Write down the first color. Write down the first shape. Write down the first foreign country. Write down the first capital. Write down the first marine animal or mammal. Write down something fun. Write down something you don't like. Write down something you'd like to be better at. Write down something that's holding you back. Okay. Now, how hard was that? Was that pretty hard? Once you got into the rhythm of it, you kind of got used to it, right? Did you write down something that was holding you back that surprised you? Anybody? Can wave your arms, or anybody get surprised? Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. So we tricked our brain into taking a little break, and then we slipped in a little question there so that we could find out something from our subconscious. Now, when I've done this with smaller groups and we put it in the chat, it's amazing how many of you guys come up with the same color, the same number. It's like we are all on this big wavelength, right? Okay. Now, what I want you to do now is we're going to okay, they say to just do it this way. We're going to write down some things about our spirit guide, and you're going to write down the very first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. So we're going to think about our spirit guide, and now we're going to say, is our spirit guide male or female, or, neither? Is our spirit guide tall or short? Is our spirit guide a certain color? Is our spirit guide from this incarnation? Is our spirit guide human? Is our spirit guide funny? Is our spirit guide serious? Did you guys get some answers? So how did you I just asked the question, and many of you probably just knew, like, female, male, tall, short, blue, whatever. Did anybody just raise your hand if anybody saw like a picture when they were doing this? A few of you. Okay. Great. Awesome. Very good. Who here does not see pictures? Raise your hand and keep it up. Okay. Okay. Keep it up for me because I need to see. I want to see roughly. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you guys. All right. So when we do our meditation, if you don't see pictures, I'm going to be describing some things, but if you don't see pictures, I want you to feel it, or I want you to just know it. So if I'm saying there's this thing, I want you to just know it's there. Go into your body. Go into your body and feel being in there. And I will try to use some descriptors that help the people that don't see, because it's very frustrating for you guys when you guys have to do a meditation and you're not seeing anything. I know it can be very frustrating, but you guys don't let that count you out. What you really want to do is double down on those other clairs, the clairsentience. You really want to use that clairsentience. What am I feeling? What do I know? You can see pictures. You can have a knowing of a picture without seeing it. You can know in your mind that a Christmas tree looks like this, or that a beach looks like this, without seeing it in your mind. Okay. Okay. Now, before we get started, we're going pretty fast, which is good, probably. Does anybody have any questions before we go into the next thing? You guys keep your questions short, but I'm happy to answer them. If you want to put your hand up, you can see down in the bottom of your screen where it says reactions. There'll be a place for you to raise your hand. If you don't know where that is, Penelope?
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and ask your question, dear.
Oh, I've never been able to see, but I've always know, or I think I know. Well, could that change? I'd rather see than know.
It can change. Now, I do think there's a real diagnosis of, not being able to see. But for you, I think you can. They're telling me you can. Now, sometimes with all the clairs, okay, but especially seeing, because seeing is so, like, I'm very clairvoyant, right? So if I see something terrible, like, I never forget it. Like, it's like ingrained in my mind forever. So a lot of you guys that don't see, it's because you've seen something that you didn't like to see. Could have been when you were a child. You could have seen something that scared you. It could be from a past life, and in your past life or in your childhood, you said, I never, ever want to see that again. And your guides were like, duly noted, right? So if that's the case, then that's a block. And it is something that you can work towards removing, okay? Blocks can be frustrating, right? Because sometimes they're not so easy to find. But I would suggest for you, Penelope, and anybody in actually here, try to picture a red balloon. Can you picture a red balloon, Penelope?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see. You're good. You're gonna be fine. You've just got a block against something, just like,
I didn't see the red balloon. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, see it. If you can
no,
see
I don't see it. No.
Okay.
I just trust it. It's there.
You trust that it's there. Okay. All right. For you want to do some clairvoyant exercises, and you want to try, close your eyes, and not necessarily now, but on occasion, close your eyes and picture a red balloon. But for me, what I feel like really that people can be able to tap into is memories. So if you go into a memory, let's say there was a place that you visited that you just loved, or let's say there was a special memory with your family or something. If you go into that memory and you start reliving the memory, you want to try to imagine being there again. Was it hot? Was it cold? Was it raining? Was it dry? Was it daytime? Was it nighttime? Then get into, what did you eat? Do you have a memory of eating something that was very sweet or very salty? Do you have a memory of hearing music or hearing waves at the beach or birds or the wind in the trees? So you start with all these other senses and you sharpen them. You go in, this is a good exercise for everybody. You go into that memory and you sharpen all of those senses. Try to get back there as much as possible. Try to bring that taste back into your mouth. Bring that sound back into your ears. Bring that cool or warmth back to your skin. If you can do that with all the clairs that work for you, or even if it's, listen, guys, when you have a muscle you haven't used in a long time, it's not very strong. It might take you 5 times to try to get somewhere. Okay. It may happen after once, may have to after 5, but you've got to keep trying it. But after you get all your other senses kind of dialed in, then you can try to remember, what did it look like? And honestly, don't we remember what our parents look like? If you can remember what your parents look like, if you can remember what your house looked like when it was decorated for the holidays, if you can remember what the outside of your house looked like, then that's seeing. So that's kind of how you can tap into that. Okay. And I think that's helpful for everybody, actually. Does anybody else have a question? Okay. 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 So what we're going to do, so as I said, we're going to do this meditation. I think it might be about 20 minutes long. I don't know, because honestly, I'm in it with you guys. I have no idea what's going on. And in this meditation, I'm going to lead you to a place where you're going to sit down with your spirit guide. Now, I'm going to talk you through all of this, but I'm just going to give you a heads up. When you're there with your spirit guide, if you guys are all muted, what I'll do right now, you guys can record this on a voice recorder or, on your laptop or on your phone, and you can talk out loud and say, I'm seeing this, or I feel this. If you don't do that, after we come out, we're going to take some time and make some notes. It'll all be there for you. Don't worry if you can't record it. It's not a problem. In the future, get in the habit of recording yourself, because if you go into a meditation like this, you can actually talk out loud what's happening and what you're seeing, because after the meditation, sometimes we don't remember everything. Okay. And T-Barb, you cannot do this meditation while you're driving, girlfriend. All right. Be careful. If you start to go off, you need to shut me off, because this is recorded. You can listen to it later. Okay. All right. We're ready. Does everybody ready? All right. Let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting our feet flat on the ground. This is what the guides are telling me. I know sometimes we like to sit with our feet up, but they really want you to be grounded, because we're going to basically astral travel. So they kind of want us to be grounded. So we're going to start with our feet flat on the ground if you can. We're just going to close our eyes. We're going to take some deep breaths. Just whatever feels comfortable for you right now. You don't have to breathe in too deeply. Just a little bit more than normal. As we prepare for our meditation, we are feeling relaxed. We're getting comfortable in our seat. Our body feels nice and soft. Our shoulders are relaxed. Our arms feel limp and heavy. Taking a nice deep breath at this time and release it. And when we release this breath, we release any thoughts or any ideas, because we don't need them right now. We're just going to let them be released. They're going to just collect themselves down on the floor, and we can get them when we're ready. Nice and relaxed. The relaxing starts at the top of our head. We feel our scalp letting go of any tension. We feel this beautiful energy coming down from the divine. It comes down into our head, and it feels nice and cool as it comes in through our scalp. Even if we don't feel anything, we know if we feel relaxed. This beautiful energy comes in, continues down our scalp, past our ears, into our neck, where it relaxes all of our muscles, flowing down into our shoulders, relaxing us as it goes, feeling heavy, feeling relaxed. The energy flows down our arms, relaxing our arms, our elbows, flowing into our wrists and our fingers, where every finger feels more relaxed and our hands feel heavy. This energy now comes back up through your arms into your body. It flows around your shoulders, relaxing those once again. And it flows down into your lungs, your heart, your chakras. Soothing and relaxing and healing as it flows. Divine energy, brightening and healing and relaxing. Flows down into your abdomen, your stomach, relaxing and healing. Swirling around your hips, relaxing those joints. Your torso is heavy, nice and relaxed. The energy flows down into your legs, easily and freely, relaxing your thighs, your quads, swirling around your knees, relaxing, healing, soothing those joints. The energy flows down into your calves, relaxing and smoothing down into your ankles, into your feet, soothing the balls of your feet, relaxing your toes. This energy now flows directly down to Mother Gaia, down to the earth, easily flowing through any obstacle, rocks, dirt, trees, gently flowing like a river down deeper into Mother Earth, where we meet Mother Gaia. She's there waiting for us. She's so happy to see you. She loves her earth children. She loves when they visit. She greets you happily. You bring with her a gift. This gift is beautiful divine energy that came to you from the heavens, that passed through your body, your human body, combining, making a new energy, which you now give to Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia loves these gifts and is happy to receive it. She has bright eyes and a smile as she gives you a gift in return. Your gift is a gift from Mother Gaia. This is a gift of grounding, a precious gift from deep within the earth, where all new life flows and springs forth. You take this gift with much gratitude. Now we have to be on our way. We promise to visit again. As we take our leave, she smiles at us and waves. We flow back up with the energy, the river of energy, coursing back up through the earth easily, straight back into the balls of our feet. That beautiful energy that she gifted us is now coursing through our body. This beautiful grounding energy is now part of us. It's mixing with our human energy. It swirls around through our body, up and down, all around, mixing, creating a new, beautiful elixir of energy that will benefit you for a long time to come. This energy seems to be gaining strength and purpose as it, of its own volition, gathers up in your solar plexus, where it then flows easily up through your chakras, out your crown chakra. Quickly gathering steam, it flows straight to the heavens, where it meets God consciousness. As we connect with God consciousness, you can see sparks of recognition. We are the children that have come here bringing gifts. We bring human gifts, and we bring this beautiful essence of our humanity mixed with Mother Gaia, earth grounding energy. We offer this to God consciousness, who greets his children with favor, graciously accepts the gift, and sends us back on our way, back into our body. As we flow quickly down into our body, you may feel something in your body, you may not, and that's okay. We, you and I, are now connecting God consciousness and Mother Gaia consciousness, heaven and earth, through our human body. This is very important. And it is a higher calling to do so. As we are connected to Mother Gaia and God consciousness, we are part of the divine. We are part of all that is the beginning and the end. Now, with this amazing, beautiful energy pulsing through our bodies, we are going to take a trip to visit our main spirit guide or our higher self. You may also see an angel or an archangel if you would like. This trip is very easy, as it's right here, right next to us. There's a door. This door can be anything that you wish it to be. It can be an office door. It can be a heavy wooden door. It can be anything. But this door is the door to the special place that we've created. It's a place full of divinity and light, and the only energies, vibrations that can enter this door are 100% divine light. We reach out for the handle, grasp it, and open the door. When we go in the door, we feel a room. We know we're in a room. We may see a room. We know this room is very comfortable because we know that we feel so comfortable in this room. We're so comfortable that we would like to sit down. So we do. We find the place that we sit is so relaxing and comfortable. We sink into the cushions, which hold us ever so perfectly, not too tight, not too loose, just perfect. As we snuggle in and get comfortable, we know, we see, we feel, or we hear the door opening. We look or point our attention to that direction, and we see our spirit guide coming in. Now, we may see an archangel, or we may see our own higher self. But whoever comes through that door is 100% divine light and has your highest good in their heart. And they're here to meet you. You feel the recognition. You know this person. You may see this person and recognize them. They recognize you. They're happy to see you. They're happy for this opportunity to meet with you. They hurry over and sit at their own chair. And they lean towards you and put their hands out. And you lean towards them and put your hands in theirs. This creates a beautiful sacred bond between you. And it allows for the easiest communication. It's so easy to communicate with them. This communication can come to you in pictures, movies, words that you hear, knowing, or feelings. You may just feel the love, the respect coming from this person. You may feel their hand. You may feel that their hand is cool or warm, or you may feel energy in your body. At this time, you can receive your message. If you are not receiving a message, ask a question. You may want to ask a question about your soul journey. A simple question is best. Am I on my soul journey? You may wish to ask for help, for them to send you more signs. Don't worry if you're not getting any communication. meeting your spirit guide is just as important. Just sitting with your spirit guide is just as important. So now you can take your leave. You can thank your spirit guide for joining you. Feel gratitude and love. And disconnect and come back down. You might want to take a drink of water. Because even though we did ground, it's nice to ground yourself again after something like this. So why don't you guys take a minute and write down anything that you saw or anything that I want you to concentrate on what you saw, what you felt, what you heard, what you experienced, and what you knew. Try to make it multi-sensory or tap into all those different senses. It's not only just about the message, it's also about the experience. So I'm going to let you guys write for another, say, minute. And then if anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer any questions, or if anybody wants to share, I'm happy for that too. Melinda, do you have a question? Oh, yeah. Okay. I think you put up something, but you can, down in the reactions, you can put up your hand. Perfect. Anybody else have questions? If you can, go down into the reactions, or you may, if you're on a tablet, it might be in a slightly different place. Put up your hand. And if you don't have that, if you don't have that, unmute yourself and tell me you have a question and I'll find you. Okay. All right. And for those of you still writing, keep writing, right? Like if you're getting information, you're connected, and it's important to go ahead and finish that process. So just disregard me and write away. Okay. The majority of you guys at least really connected. I don't know how many of you got messages, but I know that you were connected. So let's start with Sue with your question, or if you'd like to share.
Hi, thanks. That was wonderful. The question I have is, are we so open when we're doing that meditation that other spirits could pop in? We are.
Yes, but they should be 100% divine light.
Well, I could swear, I'm sure, that my late husband came by and kissed me on the lips.
Yes, that is true. I was going to say that. I was going to say that in the very beginning, but the guides told me to just wait. Yes, absolutely. Your departed loved ones can come in. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
It's a really neat way. That meditation is a really neat way to actually connect to your departed love. How nice of him.
Yes, he just sort of swooped in. The other thing is I couldn't see my guide, but I could feel him touching my hands.
Great. That's why I do the hand touching thing, because it does give you an extra sensory opportunity. Mm-hmm. Did you know of any messages, or did you feel anything otherwise, Sue?
Just love.
Nice. Love is beautiful. That to just sit in that kind of love is amazing.
Yeah. It felt like it was directly across from me.
Yes.
Not me, but right there.
Yes.
So.
And when your husband came in, how did you feel that energy?
Oh, he swooped. Something swooped by, kissed me on the lips, and went on.
Don't mean to disturb you, but coming through.
It was like, could do spirit guides kiss us on the lips? No, it was him.
Yeah, not typically. I've never known a spirit guide to kiss anybody on the lips, but thank you for sharing, Sue. And I'm so glad your husband came through. How sweet.
Oops.
No, I think it's very sweet. I'm glad he did.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing. That's nice. Brenda, would you like to share? Do you have a question?
Yeah, and I'm so happy for Sue. That's wonderful. So I didn't think I was going to see anything, but I was just seeing some purple color, and I almost went to sleep. And at that point, almost to the end, I saw a real pretty bright white painted sign, like would be in the yard of a historic Victorian home. And it might say like Bedford House or something on the front. But instead, it was a list of names written on that. And I started zooming in on those names. And I zoomed in on one in particular. And then I immediately forgot what it said. And then I came out of it.
That's okay. That's kind of like the dream, right? When you don't remember.
Yeah.
If that happens to you guys, it's for a reason. Believe me, if they wanted you to see that name, it would be planted on your eyeballs.
Okay.
Sue, are you trying to lower your hand?
No, I'm trying to, I lost you completely.
Oh.
You're gone, but I can hear you. And I'm like, you can probably hear me, so this is not good, but I can't find you. Can you silence me so I don't disturb everybody?
Yeah, I'll mute you.
Yeah, I gotta find you again. Sorry.
No problem. Okay. Brenda, thank you. That's really interesting. So I'm sorry, what color did you see?
I was seeing purple.
Purple. Nice. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Good. That's important. The color is important. Everything you saw, that's important. And, so if you do this on your own, you can stay in it longer, and you may have better, you may have more connection. As a matter of fact, the more you do this, the more connection you'll have, right? You're sort of reinforcing that connection between you and the guides. And the more you do it, the stronger it is. Thank you for sharing that.
When I lay down in bed at night, I often see pictures when I'm going to sleep.
Yes.
So I was just about to sleep.
Yes.
And so
that's when your consciousness, that's when you let go. So it's right when you're going to sleep. So you want to practice letting go in meditation.
Okay.
And that you'll kind of move that from getting your images just as you fall asleep. You can move that to meditation.
Okay, I'll try that.
Takes some effort, kind of. Thank you for sharing,
Okay.
Brenda. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Allison.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. This is really weird because during the whole energy thing of Gaia and everything, I felt wonderful. I felt enveloped. I felt loved, empowered, and everything. When it came to talking with my guides, and this, I have to ask you if this is really weird because you know that my guides are sarcastic. And I felt myself in an argument. Wait a minute, where are my glasses? This was weird when I was trying to speak with them and I was asking them, like, is there anything? And what I got was a chastisement. They said, this is unnecessary because I already know that they talk to me every day. And they have been. I talk to them all day about things that I lose and everything. And that is absolutely true. But the thing is, like, they're talking and I'm like agreeing, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. And they also said that I don't need to know the entire plan for what I'm going to do, but I need to go as usual. And when I need to know, I will. And then somebody said, I knew what I was supposed to be doing ever since I read 40 Days of Purpose. That was almost 20 years ago. And I apologized and I agreed. And then I'm asking them, well, like in the room, can I at least like see your hand or something so I can go back and tell them what you look like? And you don't need to know what I look like. It doesn't matter. Now, you, because you've talked to my guides, does this sound like something they said to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm telling you, my guides are like no nonsense.
Yeah.
They don't think any of this stuff is funny. But
Yeah.
my helper guides are like my friends. Like I could talk to them.
Yes.
So I think what a lot of times, Allison, who you're talking to all day is your helper guides.
Yes.
And then you called the big kahuna in, and
Yeah.
the big kahuna is like, this isn't a game.
And he's like,
we're not
what do
playing
you
a game
want?
here.
What do you want with me now?
I know. I agree. I agree. That's
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what are they saying to me? What's happening here?
Now, what did you feel? Now, did you feel chastisement or did you feel sort of this paternal love?
Yeah, I felt the way I felt when, like, I remember something happened on my job and I was scared I was going to lose my job. And I was at my father's job crying about it. And he stopped and he said, what are you crying about? You're going to be all right. It's just a crappy job. It's like that. It's like, why are you coming here with this? Come to me with the big stuff. Because it's like, I love you, but come to me for the big stuff.
Yeah.
And I do have a parking God. I pray for space. I pray all the time. I ask for stuff. I lose things all the time. And I say, y'all, I'm not playing now. Stop with this remote. It's so little. I can't keep looking for it. I actually started doing that. But I think that this year, all this being nice and smudging and this sage, I think today was a bit much. They were like, stop it. Who are you kidding? That's it.
I agree.
Okay.
And I think they know, like, if you don't have that kind of relationship with them, they pretty much match their personality to your personality. They match, that's, so, and that is your personality, Allison, and mine too, right? So, Yes, that did it. That if it was, let's say, for the sake of teaching, that you created this sacred space and you got into this, conversation or energetic conversation, and you heard or you knew or you felt some kind of message like, you're gonna die, something crazy. That is not your guide. Or you should do something that you just never ever would want to do. Like I had a client one time who had an attachment, not during this, but in general. She had an attachment, and she finally figured out when she got this in guidance to do this thing that she would never do. Now, it wasn't like go kill anybody. It was basically like she was deathly afraid of planes. And she got this message, this knowing that she should go fly, that she should just even take flying lessons. That's when they showed their hand. Taking a flight, she was like, okay, I probably do, right? I need to get over this fear. We try to work out what they're saying. But when they said you need to take flying lessons, she was like, no, that's wrong. So what they did for you was basically say, look, we're talking to you. You read this book. You know what you're supposed to be doing. We're good. I'm busy. Peace out. Isn't that kind of what they said? Yeah. Now, everybody else's mileage might be different. Somebody else might get this beautiful love and this profound message, and that's okay too. All of this is okay. Whatever it was is okay. Thank you for sharing that, Allison, and don't bother them anymore. Or just talk to your helper guides. I mean, this is how I feel about my higher self. When I'm really in a bind, when I'm like, stuff is blowing up, I don't know what's happening, I can't figure anything out, I put myself in a trance and I talk to my higher self. So the way I feel like it works in my experience is you have God consciousness, whatever that is for you. Then you have your higher self. Your higher self is a part of your soul that stays up there through all of your incarnations. Then under your higher self is your main spirit guide. Under that is your helper guides. Off to the sides, in a different hierarchy, so to speak, are angels. Okay. So when I speak to my higher self is like that, like very, very serious. Few words, very serious. So I don't talk to her too often. Okay. And so Melinda, would you like to share? Do you have a question?
A couple questions. First, I heard you say that most of us was connected. Was you with us, or how did you know that?
I can tell.
Okay.
I popped out of the meditation and I looked at everybody's picture, and I can just look at you and see your energy and know that you're connected.
Okay, because I guess I'm newer at this. I mean, not that I don't believe, but I still doubt, because the stuff seems odd to me, what I see and stuff. And I'm like, I got a really creative mind. So, I mean, how can I believe I was connected, but yet I doubt it. So what should I do with that?
How you overcome these doubts, and we all have them, because let's face it, we're dealing with something that's metaphysical. It's not real. It's not something that you can pick up tangibly. What you do is you do a lot more of it. You get more validation. This is why, come to our Sunday Oracle card, which will be next Sunday. Because what we do is we ask, Spirit tells me what questions to ask. We ask a question and we pull a card, and it gives you information that you can't deny. It's real. You can't make it up. So you need more validation. That's what you need. to kind of overcome the doubts. And that's normal for all of us. So do the things that, pull the oracle card, ask a question, get your journal out. This is really, I swear, it's the best thing. And I hate to journal, and I'm even journaling. Get a journal and write down every odd, off the wall thing that happens. You have a thought and you think, where'd that come from? Write it down. You hear songs, write it down. Pull a card, say once a day for a couple of weeks, and just ask questions, simple questions. What do I need to know for my highest good? Write down the date, write down the deck, write down the card you pulled, write down the number or the name so you can look it up later. Okay? If you'll do that for 3 weeks, I promise you that when you go back and look at those pages, you're going to see a story start to form that you cannot deny, that will frankly kind of freak you out. So that's how you really do this, is you just need more validation. Any other questions?
No, other than, okay, so if I was really connected, I actually seen my future granddaughter. Is that possible?
That is quite possible, yes.
Okay, because she was just a little baby, but they let me have a peek at her. I'm like, wow. Okay, no,
That's
that
amazing.
that helps me. Yeah, because I'll have to go with it. I was connected and start doing what you say. Thank you.
You just, it takes time to build up that trust and that faith. It takes time and a lot of validation. If you just stay with this, you'll start to believe it.
Okay, thanks.
Because it's real, because you can't, you couldn't make it up. Congratulations on your new granddaughter. I love that. See, when you get into that sacred space, you can see departed loved ones. If your guide wants you to see something in the future, they'll show you something in the future. It's a sacred space that you can create, and you can go there and you can just be in the energy. You can just even ask for, they're telling me, I didn't know this, but you can even go to that sacred space and ask for healing, or just ask to be bathed in love. You can go there and be surrounded by angelic love. So it's really a helpful thing to have. Okay, and Kelly, you might have to unmute yourself. Let me see what everybody's saying is when they showed you.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So who came through the door for myself was a lavender purple aura, smoke filled, and then a slender female figure inside, blonde hair. She sat down and talked to me. So my question or issue is, the longer we communicated, I got this pain in my right eye, above my eye and behind my eye. And I've gotten this before on other meditations. And so can you tell me what that is, or what's going on with that? Or
You've gotten that in other meditations, and it's your right eye.
like the meditation, like with Jen, we do that 6 calls, and I shoot something out my third eye, and that's where the pain comes right here.
Yeah.
And then with this one, I mean, I can still feel it, like it's not as painful as it was, but
I'm sorry that happens to you. What I'm getting is that, okay, so, your third eye, of course, you know where that is. It's in the middle. But this eye, this pain in your right eye, when you use your third eye, is the only time it happens, right? When you're in a meditation and you're seeing, there's a sort of a past life issue where you were using your third eye and you got injured, or it has to do with a past life. Okay. So what you can do is you can talk to yourself, and when we talk to ourselves, we're talking to spirit. And you can say, I don't need to experience that pain anymore. That's not relevant to this life. For instance, I had a past life where I was a monk and I was writing and drawing like from sunup to sundown. And in my reading, they said, your hand is hurting. And I said, it is hurting. And I don't know why. And they said, it's because at this age you are now, but in this past life, you developed arthritis, terrible, debilitating arthritis in your hand. And if you just tell spirit and tell yourself, I don't need to experience that pain, it's not from this life, it'll go away. Now, it took about a week, maybe a little bit longer, but it went away. No pain. And I'm telling you, I thought I was getting arthritis, like I was really in a lot of pain. So you can affect spiritual, energy that you feel in your body. So I would just start releasing that. You could even, they're just saying, even holding your hand over your eye and saying, I release this. It's almost like you strain a little bit too when you're using your third eye. So relax, like you're so in, like you see very vividly. And so you're kind of leaning into it. Learn to just relax a little bit. And when it starts to hurt, when you're doing this meditation, I want you to just relax it and don't try so hard. I literally injured my third eye doing an exercise of bringing an elephant out of the eye and in the eye. Some of you guys saw that. But I swear I had to put ice on my forehead. I'm not kidding, because the exercise was subjective objective. So take the elephant you see inside your head, see it in front of you, and then bring it in. And I did that like 10 times. And I literally hurt myself physically. So you can have physical, responses to this stuff.
So was I connected with my
Yes.
guide?
Yes. That's who was the slender person in the purple fog.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing that.
Uh-huh.
When we share, we all get a chance to learn. Go ahead. Dee.
Right.
Is it me?
Awesome. Yes.
So, thank you for the meditation, first of all. And
You're welcome.
it's awesome. And it's the third time I've done a similar meditation. Like, I've been trying to do this for years. And I think what I'm really trying to do is to be able to see, which I really can't. I get to the door and then I don't know, like I'm just wondering if you can tell if I have a block or something.
Can you see the door?
Yeah, I can see like parts of it. Yeah.
That's
And
fine.
then-
Or
And
you
then
have a knowing anyway. And then when you go to open it, what happens?
it's just like nothing. It's like I don't
Okay.
see anything. It's
Yeah.
just might be colors, like when you close your eyes, like sometimes you see colors. And I mean, I do feel like I feel energy. And I've definitely felt it. Like I can feel it in my hands, like my hands get really hot and I feel like I'm connecting with that energy. And I even think it was interesting that we were talking about loved ones. I felt like almost my grandma might have floated by, even though I didn't see her. I just kind of feel that bright, like she was always so happy to see me. But wondered if you could tell if I'm blocked. Like I guess I start on this and then I get frustrated and then I kind of turn it off for a while. And I've been doing this for like probably 8 years.
Right. So,
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys, the more we try, the harder it is.
Yeah.
It's a very elusive energy. It's really energy you want to sit back and allow it to kind of come to you and envelope you. When you lean into it, it tends to run away. So let me ask you, you said you went to the door, but then quite go through it. However, when in the actual meditation, your hands got hot.
Mhm.
And did you feel sitting in the chair?
Yeah, I felt like I was sitting in the chair. I felt like I was leaning in. I do feel like somebody came in the way that you kind of guided us through. I feel like we connected. Like I can feel, like sometimes when I listen to music, like a certain megahertz or whatever, and I feel that vibration in my body, like that's kind of what I feel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, yeah, and that's it. I mean, I've had plenty of confirmations, through the cards and so forth that I'm connecting, but I just wish I could, I wish I could really see them. One time, during one of the meditations, I think they came to me as birds, like different kinds of birds.
Nice. So you saw the birds.
I did, not today, but
in the past.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
And today you had sensations and feelings, but you didn't
really see them.
Right. So
it was like Helen Keller. Like I just was listening to this thing on Helen Keller, like where she had to learn how to perceive.
Yeah. Differently.
Right. That's kind of how I felt. Like, okay, just try to tune into what's not obvious, kind of.
For you, what they're saying is they want you to experience. Okay? They want you to experience it. It's almost as if instead of seeing it, you're in it. And you're in this sort of color vibration. It's all around you. You go in. So you don't stay back and look. You go into the energy. So, again, it might be helpful for you to do the subjective objective exercise where if you can imagine a balloon or a butterfly inside your head and then put it in front of you and then bring it back. Because you're in it. That's why you're not seeing anything. You're going into the inside of the energy.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
But you're also an experiencer. You love the experience. Like I almost feel like sometimes sound has color for you. Like you can imagine or see colors with certain sounds and how sound encompasses all of us, right? It comes from all directions. That's how you experience things, is 360.
Okay.
But it's not wrong. What you're doing is not wrong. It's just uniquely to you, how you do it. So their advice would be to do the meditation, find any meditation that works for you. In the meditation, try to move yourself around. So imagine yourself stepping outside and looking in. Or imagine sticking your arm through it and your arm disappearing and your arm coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting because this is actually what I'm working on in my work, my day work, which is as a therapist. I'm trying to pull myself out and look at them instead of
how interesting. How interesting.
Yeah, because I'm kind of getting into their energy and thinking like, what would I do? Like I'm in this energy and I have to work to pull myself out.
There it is.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I'm getting off.
But you're not doing anything wrong. Your guides are saying you're not doing anything wrong. You're experiencing it the way you like to experience. They're like, she likes it like this. It's like, she dialed this up. This is her order. Isn't this her order? So put in a new order,
Yeah.
But practice seeing too.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that. Cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Karen.
Hi. So
Hi.
I have a few questions. First of all, when you said color matters, I saw at the very beginning, I saw purple. And then I asked, is this significant? And then the color changed to blue. And then I thought, well, maybe the message was that this is not significant. Maybe that was the way, that's what that meant. But then you said the color is significant. So would
Both
you
of them
explain
are,
that?
so they said, okay, so you saw purple and you said, is
Yeah.
this significant? And then they changed it to blue. To me,
Right.
what they said was, yes, but so is this.
And
It
I
doesn't
thought,
have to be one or the other. It can be this and.
I thought they were saying, well, obviously not. We're changing it to blue. It's what.
No. No, it's this is, and now so is this.
Okay.
So
And
blue and purple, you want to look up the meanings of those colors and see what resonates with you.
okay. So I missed the door. I think I nodded off for a bit.
That's okay.
I noticed you weren't talking anymore. And then I thought, okay, I better get on with this. And I felt a lot of emotion. I never really cared about seeing the guide. That wasn't big for me. When you asked initially to give us, we should give real fast answers. And you said, is it a man or a woman? And I thought round-headed man is the thought that I got. So I stayed with that.
Yeah.
And then you talked about how phrases stay with you through your life. And I immediately thought about the unexamined life is not worth living, which was the Socrates quote, according to Plato anyway. And I think about that a lot. It's one of those. So then I heard you say, ask questions. So I asked if that phrase has anything to do with my path. And then I got the thought, yes. So I didn't hear any words. I just got thoughts. And
That's perfect.
And then I said, this is when I got real emotional. I started to cry and I get this huge smile. I could feel the smile on my face. I said, are you here to help me with that? And he said, of course. It just, anyway, it was awesome. But the whole time from then on, I felt a big welling up in my throat of emotion and a smile and tears, not running down my face, but I just felt, what else did I? Oh, and then last question I asked is I said, what he wanted me to know. And then I heard I'm worthy. So it was just really an emotional experience for me.
I love it.
Yeah, it was very cool. I really felt this father presence almost, not my father, but a fatherly presence of someone or thing who really cared about my life. So my last question is, how do we get there? I do TM. So my normal morning procedure is that I do the 6 calls and then I do TM. And then I feel real good when TM is over, but it doesn't take me any place. I don't know how to get to this place. And this isn't something you would do every day anyway, is it? It's
Probably
a pretty
not.
experience to be doing every day.
Yeah. You could do the first part of the meditation where you go to Mother Gaia and you go to God consciousness, because that's a great connection to have, to be, the connection. Humans are the connection between God consciousness and earth. So you can do that every day if you want. However, the other part, you don't want to do all, you don't want to do it too often. I mean, if you wanted to do it once a week, you probably could, but as you like.
I have a mechanical question too. It's totally impossible for me to be comfortable and have my feet on the ground.
Yes, sorry, I don't.
They're all too deep. So So what should we choose?
You can do it without your feet on the ground.
Okay, I finally slumped back because I was like this and I was feeling, it started to ache, I wasn't feeling good. So,
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine. That's fine.
So are you saying listen to the recording and then learn the meditation so we can take our thoughts through there?
Yes.
It's a great experience, Susan. Thanks a lot.
I am thrilled that you had that experience, Karen. That is awesome.
Yeah. Do you
And I
think
would
it's a
just-
man too?
I'm sorry?
Do you think it's a man too?
Yes, I do. I do. And I'm wondering how many of you guys, Karen brings up a really good point that I meant to say. How many of you guys feel like whoever you kind of saw in the very beginning with that kind of rapid fire question was the same energy? It'd be interesting, right? Yep. Some of you saw the same thing. Okay, great, great, great. Perfect. That is awesome. I'm excited for you guys. Thank you, Karen. And I just want to say that I think, Karen, you had such a profound experience because you've been doing the every other Sunday Oracle. You've been putting in the work. You've been connecting to your spirit guides through the cards. So you've gotten this relationship with them and you've begun to trust it.
I do trust it. I do know they're there.
Yeah.
I just, because I hear someone talking to me saying, don't do that, or that's not, maybe that's the reason, or, so yes, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Karen. All right. So I don't know. I just see iPad. I don't know what your name is and your video's not on. So I'm not sure if hopefully you're here.
Is it me?
Yep, it's you.
Okay. My name is Melanie, and you might know me as Sunny Intuition.
Oh, yes, I do. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming.
Hi. Okay, so for me, I felt everything before you said it. So my crown started opening up before the meditation started. And when, I saw the door, but I heard and felt what was on the other side of the door before I even opened it. And it was really beautiful. It was almost like an indoor jungle with, running water and birds. And it was really beautiful. And, and then I didn't really see a color, but I saw a man walk in. And then I guess I was second guessing myself and I was thinking, well, I think I'm supposed to be seeing a color, so that can't be right.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then I wasn't sure what color because I wrote down green. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm supposed to be seeing green. So anyway, I was kind of second guessing and I think I just kind of ruined that moment. But I did feel the hands in my hands and I heard Silas, and I know that Silas is one of my guides. Was that the one?
Perfect. Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And his message for me was go within, open your heart. And I asked, how can I have better communication? And he said, listen and watch for signs. And that's pretty much all I got.
Oh, that's a lot. I mean, they're not talkative. I'm not kidding you guys. That's why I think sometimes it's better to ask a very specific question, because if you just say, what do I need to know for my highest good? You're going to get crickets because they're not, unless they have a very, that was a great message they gave you, actually.
Okay.
That was a very good message, to be honest with you. I know it sounds generic, but it's profound. It came from your spirit guides. And how did you feel? Did you pick up some feelings at all?
I mean, I felt the sensation in the room. I felt the hands. I don't know about feelings.
Okay.
Because I do get generic messages a lot. And then I think, well, is this just me popping thoughts into my head?
No,
or?
it's not. It's
Okay.
not. It's not. I promise you it's not. Because if you were going to give yourself a generic message, you wouldn't give yourself a generic message. You would give yourself something better. But did you feel heaviness or a lightness or did you feel anything from the timbre of the energy of the message?
Maybe a little bit. I think I was too much in my head at that point. So
what I would do is I would do another meditation when you're up to it. And I would say to them, and this is probably why I get snarky replies, but I would say, here I am going within. Where's my message? I really would. I would say, I am here in all respect, in all respect and love. I am here. I'm going within for the message. And it's just like the person who said, I saw the word and then the word disappeared. They're only going to show you what you're ready to see. They may just give you love. They may just be validating that they're there for you. Again, these guides are not going to be the guides you go to and say, I hate my job. How do I get out of it? They're way higher. That's why we bring in the helper guides. Okay. If your soul's journey is to get out of this job, yeah, they're going to be front and center and tell you that. Just keep working with them. I think you did really well. And I'm sorry that you thought you were supposed to see a color. It's just, you could see anything, a color, an animal. You could go back and do this meditation and ask to see your power animal. What is my spirit animal that's working with me right now? So this meditation, you can adapt for a lot of different things.
okay, perfect.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. And Jasmine, is that you? Yeah, I think so. Your name is like literally 6-point Helvetica.
Thank you for doing this meditation.
You're welcome.
So I noticed I have a hard time seeing faces. And that's when I saw Mother Gaia, I just saw like arms and I saw leaves like kind of growing.
Nice. I love it.
And then this huge brown moth appeared as the gift, and it looked like tree bark, and it flew up with me. And then when I went to see my guide, I saw like glowing green, and I started to see an outline of the head, which kind of it was like the shape of a light bulb. And immediately I started thinking, is this an intergalactic being? And I kind of got nervous.
Yes.
And then the shape, and then it shifted and the skin became darker. I started to see darker curly hair, but there was still a green glow all around him. And he grabbed my hands and they looked kind of green. And that's what I was getting earlier in the quick answers. So one of the things I was wondering, can they change their appearances every time you see them? Is it as a matter of our comfort or what we expect to see?
Yes.
And then I guess my other big question is my guide an intergalactic being, or has been an intergalactic being, or was that just me?
No, trust what you get, girlfriend. Yep, that's what you got. Is you have a green intergalactic being who doesn't want to upset you or scare you, wants to be very comforting to you. And in the minute you said I have a trouble seeing the face, they told me that was why, because the face was going to be instantly recognizable and you were going to be like, wait a minute, which I might too. I might do that too, right? I mean, it took me about 2 years for me to see. I do have one guide who is blue, and it took me 2 years to see that guide. I only saw this one guide who looked like Gandalf, the typical wizardy kind of thing, right? and they'll present themselves to you in a way that makes sense for you. So if you're into goddesses, you might see a goddess. If you had a past life that you really loved that was in Egypt, they may present to you as an Egyptian pharaoh. It's all energy.
Okay. And then I also noticed the messages I was getting was really similar or the same to the messages I get when I do my oracle cards with the classes that you've been doing. And also when I meditate and sit in the power, I feel like I've been getting a lot of the same messages. Am I connecting to that guide, main guide when I do that? Is that the same thing? Okay.
If you're finding that the messages seem to be consistent, then yes, that they're all working together. And I say all. So if you have multiple main guides, multiple your main spirit guides, then they're all working together that to give you that guidance.
Okay. Because
I would say it's important guidance. Honestly, if you're getting messages from your cards and messages from your spirit guides, that's important. There's a level of importance for that.
Okay. Because it kind of made me feel like, is it just because these are things I just keep thinking of and it's me? Okay. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you, Jasmine. Hey, if anybody has to go, feel free to go. I'm happy to hang out and chat and that kind of thing. But if you need to go, please feel free to go. I understand. Thank you, Jasmine. That was awesome. I just think we learned so much from sharing. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to do that. Jamie, hopefully you can hear me. Yep, there you go. Hi. You're still muted, dear. Sorry.
There we go. I hope you can see me. I don't know what kind of camera angle you've got there. I guess what I want is corroboration or validation. I'm Casey trained, and so we're trained to use our imaginative forces. So you just imagine whatever you want. So I asked my God, it's a Gandalf God, was I doing okay? And he said, yes. Was I on my path? And he said, yes. Will you help me do better on earth? Yes. Can it happen faster? Probably not, for the rest of the world to get better. And then I asked, will my parents be freed from the brainwashing of Fox News? I got no answer. And can they use the brainwashing of Fox News for good, like for heaven's purposes? I got no answer. And then I asked about a little mourning dove family that I've been watching hatch for, a month now, and the fledglings left the nest, and I don't know what happened to them. Is the mourning dove family okay? And I got no answer. So, but I wanted corroboration from you. Did I connect with my guides? Is that okay? Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Are you kidding? When they tell you things you don't want to hear, you're connected. You know what I mean? And honestly, no answer usually means either A, it's not decided yet. The energy, it's just not, there's no answer. It hasn't been decided. Or B, you don't need to know, it's above your pay grade. Or C, the answer is no, and they don't want to tell you. So it's one of those things. So I thought you were brilliant to stay in the energy and ask all these questions about Fox News and everything. That's brilliant. And your parents, and yeah, so you're on your soul's journey. That's great. That is great. So next time you might want to ask a question is either what can I do to be more on my soul's journey? When you ask them, what can you do? It's hard for them. They're not going to speak to you in a whole conversation. So it really is helpful for yes or no or short answers. That's also another reason why they may not answer. It's too long. It's too complicated. I can't answer that in this short amount of energy that I can share with you. But I feel like you could ask them, is there a way for me to refine my journey? Like, I don't know. It's something about correcting it, not correcting it, but making it more streamlined. That's it. So I feel like our soul journey, like we have guardrails, right? So because, we're human, so we can kind of bounce around in there and bounce off the guardrails, or they can come get me out of the weeds like they have to do sometimes. But you can always sort of narrow and go faster. So I kind of feel like that's a question for you. So yeah, but I think you did great.
Okay. So you think I connected?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Susan. That's what I wanted.
Yes. You couldn't have made any of that up, dear. There's just no way. So yeah, but I get it. We need the validation. It's true. The only way to do this and believe in it is get a lot of validation. So thank you for doing that. Thanks for coming and thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway, I got really, really hot when we went to the room. When we did the exercise before the meditation, I got male, tall, black, and I thought, oh, I don't think that's right. So when I went into the room, it was really lavish, but in these bright colors. Like I sat on this purple lounge, like velvet purple lounge.
Nice.
There was oranges and there was lanterns and there was like all kinds of things. So I felt nervous and shy, actually. And then I could see the door handle turning and I wanted to leave. And this tall black colorful man came in. He had all this, look a bit like a genie.
Wow.
Thought, is that my guy? Well, anyway, it's like, then I thought, I'm just imagining this. So the first question I asked was, am I on my soul path? And he said yes. And he walked over and he took my hand and held it. And I seemed really little in his big hand.
Nice.
And I thought, oh my gosh. So then, so I asked him, when I left, could he give me proof that it was real, that he was real and I was not imagining it? Well, I didn't say not imagining, I said that it was real. And he said, why do you want to know that? And I said, because I have a really vivid imagination and I want to make sure, and I think this is a problem I have, I want to make sure that I'm not making stuff up, right? That it is real. And he said, every time we come in the back door and tell you stuff, you never question it. And he says, but if you're confronted with something where you have to ask us or rely on us, then you get all nervous and you think that you're making it up, right? So he said he would give me a sign. And then when I was sitting here knowing whether to put my hand up or not, I was really nervous because I thought you would tell me I made it all up. And he said, why are you waiting? Didn't you want to know? So I thought I'd better put my hand up because I was too nervous not to do it. So I don't, that was, I don't know, I was just really shocked and sort of, but he was very loving. I did feel that, right? He was very loving, but I don't know if I made it all up.
Do you really honestly think you could make up something so elaborate?
No, actually, because I probably would have made a different person.
Right. I mean, like a Gandalf or like, like a wizard or whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
that is really your guide. And he is really tall, like 8 foot,
Yeah. Yeah. He's big.
or I don't know, big, tall. Oh, Allison went out. Let me get her back in. And that is your guide. Your experience was 100% real. I can see him. He's got big shoulders too. He's not a skinny guy.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
why
not
his
going to
hand
describe
felt-
him, right? So if
I
I
got
can describe
short-
him, then you saw him.
I got short, stumpy hands, and in his hand, my hand looked really little.
Yeah. And he's just like big shoulders, broad, big guy. I mean, look, I think you won the Spirit Guide lottery personally. Mine is kind of like, an old grizzly Gandalf looking dude. So yes, that is absolutely trustworthy and beautiful and supportive. And there's this, when your guides appear in certain ways, it usually means it's something that you would like. So do you like fabric? Do you find yourself drawn to velvet? I mean, not that you own it, but
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
like color. I like
Yeah.
color. Like when I was sitting in that room, it felt like I would have, I've never been to Louisiana, but it felt like how I would imagine some room in a place down there, right? It was really like beautiful lanterns and lamps and ornaments and everything, carpet, but it didn't look garish. It looked just rich and beautiful
and comforting.
So it was so different. If I had to have imagined who my guide was, it was totally different.
See,
totally and utterly different. I would not have,
that's how you know.
Yeah, because like when we did that thing and we had to write that down, I thought, I don't think that's right. But
and
I didn't mean that in any kind of racist way or anything like that at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But, so, and he's right, when they just pop things in the back door, so to speak, like he said, I always believe it and I don't have any trouble in saying it. But when I'm confronted with having to tell somebody, what's happening in their life or some message to give them, I get nervous because I doubt my skills.
It'll come. This will come.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So sorry, I have a cough. I'm gonna have to get some water. But Donna, cue yourself up. I can hear you. I'm like right here getting water, but go ahead and tell me.
So this is new to me.
Okay.
But I really wanted to see if I could meet my spirit guides. I'm pretty new in the journey, and I don't know what's connection and what's a good imagination. So I know when we were doing the meditation that I was seeing a lot of faces, and I don't know if that's just my imagination. And then when we got to the door, I opened it up, and I got a little scared because it was dark and I could see faces. And then I had the most beautiful white light that felt really loving. And I asked if I was on my journey, and it was like we were flying over or just over. I could see a curving river down below, and sort of smoky landscape. And it was like almost the sense that it was a journey. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
So I don't know if it was, I mean, was this my imagination? Am I just a really vivid imagination, or?
You can't make this stuff up. If I gave you guys an exercise and said, make up a story where you meet your spirit guide, you would stare at a blank piece of paper for 30 minutes. And whatever you made up wouldn't be this. So it's not your imagination. It really happened. So continue. You were flying over this kind of.
So it was like a river that curves around a curving river, and the landscape was sort of smoky. I live in a fire area, and I almost looked like there had been a fire there. So I don't know what that was trying to say. I mean, I'm guessing maybe that it was telling me I was on a journey. I wasn't sure what that meant. I just know that I saw a beautiful white light that was just amazing in that room. Yeah.
And that's spirit. That's your connection to the divine. So you know that you met, the energy, and they took you. I'm going to say that this vision that you saw was a metaphor, was the river is the journey of your life, perhaps even the flow of energy. And the smoky haze is kind of not seeing things so clearly, that there could be some haze in your own life where maybe you're not seeing your own journey with clarity. So you may wish to go back and do a meditation where you ask them to show you that beautiful scene without the haze. We don't have to just take this stuff as gospel, or you know what I mean? As we can say, okay, you showed me this. Now I would like to see this river with a blue sky. Is that possible? Yes or no? Ask them yes or no questions. Is this river my life? Is this haze something that I can get rid of? Just the way she asked about, Fox News. You can ask questions. It really helps if you ask short questions, yes or no questions, or kind of short answer questions. But there's a reason they took you on that journey. It means something. And you saw from an elevated view down, which means something. So you were like flying like the bird. You were getting this overview. So now what I think you might want to start working with them is this my life? Is this my current life? Is this a metaphor? Ask them sort of those questions. And I just want to address the faces.
I was hoping, yeah.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
I don't think so.
Or thought you have?
I sometimes seen flickers out the side of my eyes, but I think that just might be my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. So people that see faces like that, I feel like you're probably a medium. The same thing happens to me, but I tell them to stop. Again, you have control of the situation. You can ask your guides. You don't want to experience this. You don't want to see this. But so when you're just on that edge of sleep, sometimes they just rotate right through. And for me, they're so close. How I know they're in my third eye is that they're this close to me and I can see their whole face. How can it be this close, but I can see the whole face?
And sometimes I've seen their face. Sometimes their nose was tilted, and different faces.
That's your third eye. That's coming from here. You're literally seeing faces that, and who are they? 9 times out of 10, we don't know them. They could be faces that they could be spirits just connecting to your energy briefly. They could be spirits connected to your house or your neighborhood, ghost. They could just be faces from past lives. The thing that's irritating is they're nobody you know.
No, and the only other time it's happened that like this is once when I did a past life regression that scared me, and I stopped at that point years ago. Is like I could see a face right there, and it scared me, and I stopped. So
Right.
yeah.
So let's not let it scare you. Let's just say, whoa, I'm going to call in my guide team. Y'all got to go. We all have to stand in our power.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was my imagination.
I understand. It's not.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you can ask for them to go. So.
Yeah, and those first ones didn't scare me. I just thought, why am I seeing this? Am I creating this? So yeah.
I know. We all have that same question. Believe me. And am I crazy? Literally, you think I am literally going crazy. Well, thank you so much, Donna, for sharing that. And I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't know how to unraise my hand. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I can do it. And so, Teresa, you didn't crash your car, which is good.
First off, let me say that nobody's guardian angel has it over on mine. He is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
even oh my God, the one with the purple, the big, no? All right.
Got dark curly hair. He's slender. He has blue eyes. He's got the perfect face, but he had a daddy energy. Because he took me by my hands. You know how when you're little and they take you by your hands and swing you round and round, your feet come off. Oh, it was nothing but joy. But during all this stuff, you had said that they keep telling you that I'm clairvoyant. And so this thing popped in when I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. I had a really high temperature.
Oh.
And to me, it's the only time I remember seeing anything. And at that time, I saw the 3 bears coming at me on my bedroom wall. It was like a movie, and it was in Technicolor. Remember Technicolor? It was the big thing. And I mean, they even had the bags, the polka dot bags with red and purple and yellow and green. And
wow.
And I remember I was terrified, and I screamed and backed up into the wall, and Mama came in, and I'm wondering if I blocked it. I need you to ask your guides. Or if that was a fever hallucination.
No, that wasn't a fever hallucination. I mean, it was, they're saying it was heightened by the fever. So everything that you saw was more Technicolor.
Oh,
you know
I mean, vivid. I mean, vivid.
Yeah. That part was heightened by the fever, but the fact that you saw it wasn't from the fever. And you're asking if you blocked it, like if you, because you don't see, you don't see pictures.
No.
They're showing me what's what they're telling me. So they're showing me a slit in an eye. And the eye is closed. The slit is closed. And then the slit opened ever so much. And you saw that Technicolor scene, and it closed again. It's not blocked per se. You don't want to see it. They refuse to call it a block. I don't know why. They feel like it's more like a choice, that you don't want to see it because you do have such a big connection to spirit, that if you did see if you did, used your clairvoyance, you would see quite a bit. I mean, you would see like maybe when I go into your energy, it feels like you would be overwhelmed by it. So you can work on that. You can continue to work on that. Well, wait a minute. You saw the guy. You saw your guide.
Well, I didn't see him, but I know what he looks like.
Okay. So you saw him in here. You didn't see him out here.
Right.
So that's that same thing, subjective, objective. You saw him in here. So you can see. You just don't want it to be like in front of you. You don't want it to be like, whoa, that's too much. So you see it in here where it's smaller. And it's,
when I try to do the exercises like we did last time, anytime I try to see something in there, it's just blank, totally blank.
But this time you saw him. So either A, you've had a breakthrough, which, can happen. Because the only other thing, I'm trying to work it out. I'm trying to ask them to help me understand it. It's like you could say, I had a knowing that he looked like this. I know he looks like, then it would be claircognizant, not clairvoyant. So I just know he looks like this, but I don't remember how you phrased it when you were first talking. Do you guys remember? She said, nobody beats my spirit guide. I think you said he has. I think those are the words you used. I don't think you said I saw.
That he's hot.
Girl, I'm sorry. He's a daddy. Yeah, we all got that. You were like, but he's got a daddy energy. Like, darn it. You can't date your spirit guides.
I know. I think that's why I'm single. I compare everybody to him, evidently.
Well, we are all going to have to get out our depends when this guy shows up and looks just like your spirit guide, and you show up at our Sunday thing and you've got a black eye from where you fell on the floor. You're not going to believe it. He looks just like him. Because you're going to go up and pinch him. And he's going to be like, wow, why'd you do that? Never mind. They got big plans for you. That's all I could say. They're telling me you saw what you saw. That's what they're saying. She saw it.
Okay.
Just keep doing your exercises and see what happens.
Okay. And thank you for hanging on here so long with us.
You're welcome. My dogs started barking. They're like dinner. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Loretta. Come here, Ellie.
Hi, thanks. Thank you, Susan, for doing this.
You're welcome. Come here.
It's been incredible. And I am pretty new at this.
Yes, good girl.
When I first had the vision of the spirit, I asked for validation, but what I saw was it had to be a male figure because there was no breasts. So I imagine females you see, more curvy body. And it's like a silhouette, and there's a rope, like a rope outline that's glowing white. And and the elevator was a metal gray color. And when I opened that, it was we were in the stars, in the heavens. And the chairs were like clouds, cushy clouds. And I asked for validation because when I first started really meditating, I used a different meditation, but it also used an elevator. And in the elevator, the spirit guide pushes the button, and again, I didn't see the whole body, but I saw the hand and the arm, and it was the rope silhouette, white. And I asked for validation if that was him, and he confirmed it was. I asked for validation about my soul path. I've been drawn, tugged, and led to meditate for the shamanic soul journey. And I've completed 7 days of the first part of it already. And I'm doing that to open up my third eye. That's what I'm working on. It's a 3-part series. And let's see, guided meditation, yeah. And then I asked for help. You said we could ask for a helper guide, spirit guide. So I asked for a spirit guide to help me with my shamanic soul meditation. I'm not real good at what I think seeing things should be like. Should I see him out here? Because I don't see him out there. I see him, I guess in here, and I really got to kind of look for it. But it's becoming more clear every time I do it. And I asked, because a lot of readers, they talk about getting messages from ETs and all that. And I needed some clarification, because I'm wanting my guidance from the divine 100%, the angel realm, and if the ETs aren't that, I would just, I want the primos, and but I believe he told me that it was all higher realm, and it was okay. So and it brought me to tears. It was when we did the hand thing, my hands warmed up, and it was quite moving. And thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you got to meet him and talk to him. And
do you know his name?
Right off the bat, I'm getting something that sounds like Sheridan.
Oh.
But their language, my language, and then the translate, the energy, it could be Sheridan. It could be a hard C, like Sheridan. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I'm getting.
Okay.
Sheridan. That's as close as I can get. He's saying it very clearly. So now if you ask somebody else, they might get a different name. I feel like our guides sometimes are also it's not just one person. There could be multi souls in there, so our souls, our idea of this stuff is so rudimentary, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting. But I don't know who is telling me. Is it? You have more than that one guide, but this guide that's telling me this is also saying that you would make up a nickname of like Cher, but they know that that's like already taken, so but I don't know why. It feels like, does your family use nicknames, or do you use nicknames, or do you guys shorten names, or?
Well, yeah, for some, yeah. Shan, it's short for my daughter's name, Shannon.
Shan, interesting. Okay. Because he said she's going to shorten it because that's what they do.
Okay.
So
okay.
my family doesn't shorten names, but you guys tend. So he's like, it's Sheridan, but she'll probably call me Cher.
Call him Cher. Okay.
Which sounds like a female name, which is confusing, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's up to you what you call them.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you
You're
so
very
much.
welcome. I'm glad you had a good experience. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so Betsy.
Hi, Susan, and hi, everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you for your time. I'll make it super quick. This was really super cool. First time I was ever able to get something. It happened at the very, very, very end. But I connected because I do get tingling. I don't normally see anything. I know that's probably due to my fear, wherever that comes from. I don't know, but I did find myself throughout this meditation saying, it's okay. I'm open. I mean it. I'm really cool this time. Show me something. And so at the very end, I did see a lot of purple and swirling. And then I really like birds. So I feel like I saw wings flapping. But I felt like if I could have lingered there longer, I would have seen more, but I feel like I was seeing shapes. At one point, I feel like I may have seen eyes, but not eyes, maybe like dark black. And so, that may have freaked me out a little bit, but then I came back, so it was just kind of that. And then the tingling, which was just really kind of, which really solidified it for me. But I do want to see more. And I just kind of wanted to see if you get anything from that.
Yes, I get angel wings. Actually, when you said wings, I feel they were touching you with the wings. That might have been the tingling. Was the tingling in your arms?
No, it was in my head, the back of my head.
The back of your head. They were encircling you with these wings. It was like around you. So I guess you could feel it there too.
Wow.
But yes, that I can validate everything that you experienced. They're telling me, like, when it goes dark, like all of a sudden you're like, the lights went out and I see darkness. It's kind of like losing the frequency on your radio. When you're driving and all of a sudden the radio cuts out. So you just lost their frequency for a minute. It wasn't like you went somewhere bad. It's just that you sort of just disconnected for a minute. And again, when that happens, try not to panic or lean into it. Lean back, relax. Relaxing allows them to come to you. But yeah, I can validate all of that. And they're saying you'll continue to do meditations on occasion. I mean, you don't have to do this this takes a lot of energy, they're telling me. You guys all expended a lot of energy today. And they're saying that so if you do this once a week or whenever you feel like you're drawn to do it, the more you do it, the more you'll experience. And it's going to take some time. It's not something that you're going to be like super proficient, after 3 meditations. It could take weeks or even a month or two to kind of get where you want to go, but you're on the way. You're on the way.
That was wonderful. Can you tell me though what they look like? Because in the beginning I wrote something down. I don't know where that came from, but I'm kind of curious if I was in the right neighborhood.
In the beginning, before you went into the meditation?
Yeah, when you asked us to write down.
And so you did see a form or a being?
No, I didn't see.
I mean, but you wrote down something.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Right.
the first thing I saw was somebody with sort of brown hair, but then I saw someone with blonde hair, but it feels like a male, and it feels like you know how some guys have blonde hair, but then they have that sort of, I don't even know if this is, what's that?
Oh, like a sideburn?
He could be a cypher, yeah. I mean, but I was just describing his hair. I was trying to describe.
Oh,
his
no,
hair.
no. I said sideburns.
Sideburns, yes, sideburns, yes. But the sideburns are a little bit darker. I don't know how that happens, but anyway, but yeah. So he's got sort of a square face. It's like you know, with the big jaw and the kind of square. Did you see? So there's two guides there with you. I feel like there's a brown haired, maybe female or slender male. I can't tell, but then there's this blonde haired guy. Did you see did you write down any of those things?
I wrote slender male, dark, maybe of Indian descent.
That's the first one I saw. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you. That's great. I appreciate it. That's cool.
You're welcome. And I think the blonde guy's name is Puck, like Puc. Anyway,
Wow.
he's not a main guide because he's got too much personality. That boy's trouble. But anyway, he won't get you in trouble. He'll just be fun, sort of.
Fun.
The other guy's more serious. The slender guy, dark hair. I couldn't, the way I was seeing it, I couldn't tell if it was male or female because I wasn't seeing any shape, just this slender. Yeah.
Wow,
good job.
That's cool. Well, thank you. That's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. And then I have iPad, but I'm sorry, I don't see your name or your video.
Hi, sorry about that. It's Melanie again.
Hey, Melanie.
Hey, I forgot to ask a question. I didn't know if it was okay to raise my hand again or not, so I'll try to be really quick.
Yeah.
When I first saw somebody come in the door, it was a man. And my first thought was Archangel Michael. And then after that, the one that took my hands, I couldn't see him. I could see his hands and his arms. So I just wanted to see if you could tell me.
Tell you what, who the second one was?
Well, the first one and the second one, or if it was the same person.
Oh, no, it's not the same person. The first one was Archangel Michael.
Okay.
And the second person was your guide.
And his name is Silas, right?
Yes. Did you see anything else about him? He's got dark hair.
No, I didn't see what he looked like. So that's what I was wondering is, what does he look like? And I didn't know if it was the first person I saw or what. So I just wanted to try to confirm.
Yeah. No, you were right about Archangel Michael. That was Archangel Michael that was there, which is fine. Not a bad idea. But Silas has dark hair. It's kind of short. But he reminds me of a Roman, or he's telling, I mean, when I say reminds me, they show me a picture of a Roman. You know how they have that kind of curly hair, but it doesn't stick up. It just has a little curl. It's flat on his head, but it has a little curl. And his forearms are quite strong. Like he's got some strong forearms. So yeah.
Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to know. Sorry, I asked another question.
That's okay. Thank you.
This is my first time, so I was nervous, and I'm still nervous. So.
No, don't be nervous. I hope you come back to our Oracle class on Sundays. Our next Oracle class is next Sunday at 11 Central. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Hey, how's it going? The other Melinda?
It's very rare that I even see or hear about another Melinda. So I've noticed that now that I'm joining these groups that there are many Melindas. I'm like, okay, it's great. I wasn't going to raise my hand, but then I thought, well, they're finding out who it is and all that. And what happened is, Susan, is that sometimes I feel like when I see, and I don't know that I'm actually seeing, but when I see the person, that I'm just saying what I've been told already. Like I'm not trusting my own self, that I'm just saying, okay, they told me what that is, so maybe that's what I'm seeing. I'm not sure if that's all I'm doing, is just saying. Because when you did the quick questions, I said that he was a male and that he was tall and that he was white and he wasn't funny, he's just like serious. But just kind of like quiet or gentle, just like not boisterous or anything like that. But I'm not sure if that's the person.
That's the person.
Okay.
Serene. The word I got was serene.
Serene. That's exactly
that kind of peaceful kind of.
When you said, how do you feel? And I felt calm, safe. I felt like you say, serene. When I put down calm, it just felt very quiet, not like serious, like, why are you bothering me? Or,
patient, a calm, patient,
yes,
supportive,
yes,
really patient. I get, like, you just ready to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. That's the person. That's
it. Is it the main one?
That's your main. That is your main guide. Yes.
Okay. And does he have a name?
I'm getting something with a C. It feels like Callias or something like that. Callias. I feel like it's Callias.
Okay.
I'm glad you shared.
I'm glad that I did too, so that I'll know that, like you say, the validation, just to know that, yes, I wasn't just passing it on. Because when I do other meditations and that's like, okay, imagine this, I don't know if I'm really seeing it like the other ladies were saying, or sometimes I just kind of get fuzzy. I don't see anything. So I think what you were saying is like you're leaning too hard into it. You need to just relax and just let it
lean back,
relax,
allow it to wash over you instead of you reaching for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. And Carrie.
Hi. I was going to pass this off as not seeing anything, but basically I did get some kind of a silhouette that was yellow in color.
Nice.
And a thought came into my mind, I wonder if it's an alien. And then I got basically nothing else.
Uh-huh.
Now, I worked for 40 years in a very regulated profession that would not permit any of this. So I think I blocked myself pretty good. And I wondered what you see in this.
Yellow is important. So look up yellow, the meaning of yellow, the energetic meaning of yellow. It's important for you. I'm getting personally healing, that it's a healing color. Also, if you have a thought and you say, I wonder if it's an alien, where did that thought come from? That you've got to honor that. So that probably has more meaning than you think. And not all aliens are bad, and not all aliens are green little, things, or gray. There's all different kinds of star species or star beings out there. yeah, you had an experience. If you got a color, that counts. I mean, this is a big deal if you ask me. And you could be a little blocked in this. What you want to do is do it for this. They're telling me to tell you to do it for the sake of doing it. Don't do it for the outcome, because when we get really focused on an outcome and we don't get an outcome, then we just lose patience and hope, and we just say, I can't do this. So it's important, and this is something I wish I had said in the very beginning, it's important to do it just to do it and be open to whatever you do or don't get. If you'll take the pressure off of it, you'll find that you'll have a really rich experience, that you'll see and know way more than you ever could imagine. And that's where we get a block too. We don't want to see or know more than we could ever imagine, right? Like, that's too much. Like, what if I see all this crazy stuff, or I know all this crazy stuff? So we block it or we reduce it. So you can start off by just saying, I would like to experience my spirit guides. I would just like to feel them. Start with one Claire. I just want to feel connected to them. Then do it again and say, I would just like to know something about them. So instead of like trying to get a message and do all this stuff at once, break it into small little bits that maybe you're going to feel more comfortable with than just show me everything, right? Like, blow my mind.
Okay. 2 hours before that, I was in the store and I picked up something that I thought I could use. And pretty soon I thought it over and I thought, no, I can't use this. And I thought, that's somebody's helping me right there. But I don't know if that's my guide or if that's my dad.
Well, that could be your dad for sure. Because your main guides are not going to get involved in that level of your life unless it actually, you're going to have food poisoning from it. And it's going to have some, something that would like somehow affect your soul path. So that really could be your dad. I feel like you're very connected to him. You have also asked for assistance. You've asked to know your spirit guides so that can open an opportunity for you to have helper guides. So that could be a helper guide that's just there to assist you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, keep watching for those experiences. Like you're saying, like, I didn't think that, I didn't say that. That's how you catch them in the act. That's how you catch your guides guiding you.
Thank you. You're
so welcome. Thanks to you, hardy souls that stayed to the very end. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. This went on a lot longer. I knew when I said an hour, my guides were like an hour and a half, maybe. And I was like, no, it's going to be an hour. No, it's going to be 2 hours. You guys probably know me by now that if I say whatever I say, it's going to be longer. But I really, you get a gold star, definitely. But I just feel like the sharing is so important. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Much love and light to each of you. And have a good Sunday night, okay? Thank you so much, you guys. Good night. We'll see you again next Sunday, hopefully. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Take good care.
Thank you.
Much love to everybody.